Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video talking about Elvis's movies, and I also wanted to show my movie collection that I have, my Elvis movie collection. The cool thing about some of these movies is that every year I go to Memphis for Elvis Week, and one of my favorite events that they have is where they invite his co-stars from his movies to come and speak about him. And I've met quite a few of them and gotten them to sign some of my movies. So I'll show you those as we go along. I want to say that I really feel like Elvis's movies get like negative attention, especially in some of the shows and documentaries that they're coming out with lately about Elvis. It kind of irritates me because I really love Elvis's movies, and I know a lot of other Elvis fans do as well. And I think they're an important part of his career because he spent 9 years making them, and thank God we have them, because whenever we want him to be alive again, all we have to do is put in a movie and there he is. And being a younger Elvis fan, because I'm 41, so I've been alive as long as he's been dead, that's how I discovered Elvis. And I'm sure a lot of other young people have discovered Elvis through his movies, so they're very important. Plus, I feel like even though he was in a kind of a rut and got sick of doing the same old role over and over again, Elvis was still proud of his movie career, because that's what he ultimately had a dream to do, was become a big movie star, and he achieved that. So I think that for the most part he was proud of his movies, and there were a lot of good ones that he made that he did a good job in that I'll point out as I show you these my collection of Elvis movies. So I'm gonna get started. So the first one I have is Love Me Tender. Of course, it was his first movie, and it's a pretty good movie. I think that you can tell it was his first acting role because he's kind of overacting in it a little bit. But yeah, Love Me Tender. For some reason, this movie is really, really, really hard to find. I don't know why, but I know a lot of people who have tried to find this movie and cannot find it. So I'm really glad that I found it. But Loving You, his second movie, I don't really like this movie all that much, besides the fact that Elvis looks amazing in it. I think it's kind of corny. The actors that play in the movie with him are kind of corny, so it's not one of my favorites. This used to be my very, very, very favorite Elvis movie. It's still in my top 5, but everybody always says that King Creole was his best acting in a movie, and in my opinion, I think he was phenomenal in this movie. He played a jerk in this movie, and he did such a good job. I think that this acting performance is even better than King Creole, but that's just my opinion. Don't get me wrong, King Creole is good, but I love Jailhouse Rock. And then of course King Creole, like I said, everybody says that this was his best acting, and he did a great job in it, no doubt, great acting in it. But I just prefer Jailhouse Rock over it. And of course everybody says this was his favorite that he did. GI Blues. I like GI Blues, it's a good movie. Of course they capitalized on his army stint in the army after he got out of the army in this movie. Flaming Star. It's kind of a slow movie, kind of boring at times, but Elvis does do a great acting job in it. This is, in my opinion, one of the movies that he does an amazing job acting in, is Wild in the Country. It's a really good movie too. And the love scene in this movie is so amazing. If you are an Elvis fan and a female and an Elvis fan, you know exactly what scene I'm talking about, but Wild in Country is a great movie. Blue Hawaii, of course, probably in my top 5. Great movie. One of his most famous. The scenery in it is amazing, of course, because it's in Hawaii. This is my very, 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 very favorite Elvis movie. I love this movie. I think he does an amazing job in this movie. It's a comedic role for him. He pulls it off so well. It's such a cute movie. It's so funny. There's a scene in a courtroom that he just kills in it. And I actually met the twins that were in the movie with him and Anne Helm, who is his leading lady, and they all signed it for me. So that was really awesome. Favorite Elvis movie. Kid Galahad. Good movie. I like this movie. Charles Bronson is in this movie with him. Elvis actually had a lot of famous actors in his movies. Girls, Girls, Girls. It's an okay movie. It's one of the ones that he did in Hawaii. It happened at the World's Fair. I really like this movie. It's a good movie. And fun fact, Kurt Russell is in this movie when he's a little boy, and he kicks Elvis in the shin. And then I met this guy right here that's in the movie with him, Gary Lockwood, and he signed it for me. Fun in Acapulco. I really like this movie too. It's a good movie. A lot of good music in this movie. And then I also met the little boy. He's a man now, obviously, but I met him that played in the movie with Elvis. Kissing Cousins, probably one of his very silliest movies. But it's still cool because Elvis is in it. Of course, one of his most famous, and in my top 5 probably, View Las Vegas. The chemistry between Elvis and Anne Margaret in this is awesome, and you could so tell that they probably had something going on while doing this movie. Roustabout. I like this movie a lot. He does a good job in this too. He actually plays a jerk in this movie too. I like the cover of this. Girl Happy. Very good movie. I like it a lot. My favorite co-star of all of his co-stars is in it, Shelley Fabre. She was actually in 3 of Elvis's movies. And these are actually kind of cool because they have like extra photos in them. Tickle Me, another one of his silly movies. Extra photos in it. This is probably the silliest movie he ever made and the one that gets the most crap from people. Harem Scarum. Very, very, very extremely silly movie. And people knock the soundtrack too, but I actually really like the soundtrack because I think it has good songs on it. Like Harem Holiday, I love that song. So Close Yet So Far from Paradise, I love that song. Shake That Tambourine and Animal Instinct, those are 2 good songs. So I don't think the soundtrack's all that bad. It's actually a good soundtrack. Frankie and Johnny. This is the one he did with Donna Douglas from the Beverly Hillbillies. Paradise Hawaiian Style. The last one he made in Hawaii. I love this movie, one of my very favorites, and there is a reason that I really love this movie because he says my name in this movie. So being the nerd that I am, whenever I get to that part, I always rewind it over and over again just so I can hear Elvis saying my name. Yes, I'm a nerd, and yes, that's crazy, but I don't care. Love this movie. Easy Come, Easy Go. So movie. Double Trouble. Not a great movie, but Elvis is cool in it because Elvis is cool in everything he's in. And then this is one that has bonus photos too in it. Clam Bake. A lot of people knock this movie too, but I like Clam Bake. I think it's a good movie. Shelley Fabre is in this movie too. Stay Away Joe. This is a really crazy, off-the-wall movie. As you can see, I haven't really opened this because I don't really care for this movie that much, but I wanted to get it because I wanted to have all of Elvis's movies. Speedway. Nancy Sinatra's in this movie with him. Live a Little, Love a Little. I really like this movie. It's really kind of crazy and kooky, but I really like this movie. And this has got the hit A Little Less Conversation in it. And then it has bonus photos in it too. Charo. What's cool about this movie is Elvis has a beard in it, and he does a really good job in this. It's a Western. And one of my favorite actors is in this movie, Victor French, who played in Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon. I love him, and he's in this movie. And then there's pictures in this too, and there is Elvis with a beard. Elvis never had a beard. He was always clean shaven, which is how I like my men. The Trouble with Girls. This is kind of a crazy movie. I don't really like it that much. But I actually met his leading lady in it right here. Her name is Marlon Mason. She's really, really a nice lady, and she signed it for me. So that's cool. And his last scripted movie was Change of Habit with Mary Tyler Moore. This is a great movie. Elvis plays a doctor in it. And then the other one, well, his last two were concert documentaries, and they were great. That's the Way It Is. This actually has both versions. It has the original version, and then it has the one that they redid. That's kind of just like a concert, and it doesn't have any of the talking people in it, so it's really great. And then my very favorite one is Elvis on Tour. This is my favorite era of Elvis, one of my favorite eras. I love this movie. And I haven't opened this because I've seen it so many times, but I just wanted to get it because it was the first time that they released it on DVD. And then the other ones I have are just like compilations of documentaries and stuff like that. And this is Elvis. In my opinion, this is the greatest documentary that they ever did on Elvis. I just recently watched The Searcher, and it was okay. I liked it, but it doesn't come close to this movie. This is Elvis, and this has the edited and unedited versions of the movie on it. Plus, cool thing about this movie is that for a really short time, you get to see the upstairs of Graceland in it, which is really awesome because you can't go upstairs in Graceland. So that's awesome. This is a really good video. Elvis by the Presleys. It basically is, it's got Lisa Marie and Priscilla and other family members and things talking about Elvis and his personal life, showing home videos. It's really, really good. If you want to learn more about Elvis and his personal life and the kind of person he was, I recommend this video or this DVD. This is what it looks like inside. In my opinion, the best movie about Elvis where somebody played him was this one where Kurt Russell plays him. This is my favorite one. I think that out of all the people that have ever played Elvis, he does the best job. And I actually heard that they're trying to they're coming out with another movie about him, and I guess that Tom Hanks is supposed to play the Colonel in it, which is really awesome because he's like my favorite actor. But I hope that they do come out with that because they've never really come out with a Hollywood movie about Elvis. I mean, they have about Johnny Cash and Ray Charles, and just recently about Freddie Mercury and Bohemian Rhapsody. So I hope they come out with that movie because that would be really awesome, especially if it's really good. And then another mini-series they had, I think in 2002. It was really good. I liked it because it went more into detail about his life. I don't really particularly like the guy that plays him though. Jonathan Rhys Meyers. He's in other stuff too, but it's okay. I like it. That's why I bought it. And then I have this, Elvis Lives. This is really cool because this is the concert that they did where they put Elvis on a big screen and had all of his original band members backing him up. And I was fortunate enough to see this quite a few times. It was awesome. So if you were like born after he died like me, it was kind of a way to see him in concert. It was really awesome. So this is the full concert of it. And this is really cool because it's like a documentary kind of thing about his karate. And I guess he was going to make a film about karate, but he never did end up doing it. But it's got a lot of the footage that they took of it, of him practicing with his bodyguards and other famous karate people. And then I have the whole Frank Sinatra show on DVD, which is really awesome when he got back from the army. It's the whole show. I think this is hard to find now, so I'm glad I got it. This is a really good DVD. This is Joe Esposito. He tells stories, personal stories, and shows home videos and pictures of his life with Elvis. And it's really sad because he just died a couple of years ago. We're losing a lot of the people in the Elvis world. We just recently lost George Klein, which is really, really sad because he was such a big part of the Elvis world. So it's really sad. But this is a good video. I don't know if you can still find it, but if you can, I recommend it. It's a good video. And then these are really awesome that I have. Last year was the 50th anniversary of the '68 special. And I actually got this in 2002. I think it came out. But it's awesome. It's got like the original show, and it's got bloopers and deleted scenes in it. And then the Aloha edition. This is awesome too. It has the original show and the alternate show. And it has like other stuff in it, like when he gets off of the helicopter and greets the fans, so that's awesome. And then last one I'm going to show is the Ed Sullivan shows. These are the whole shows, all three of them, not just Elvis, all three of the shows. So it's really awesome to have this too. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video and show you all my collection, and hope that you enjoyed it. And like I said, Elvis's movies aren't all that bad. Thank God we have them, because whenever we want him alive again, all we have to do is pop in a movie. So hope you enjoyed it. Until next time.